Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ricky Carson, and in today's video we're going to explore around Fitton green natural areas. So for those of you guys who don't know, Fitton Green Natural Area is this natural area reserve park outside of Corvallis, Oregon. And I used to come here all the time as a kid, from just doing like quick, short, like 20-30 minute hikes around the trails, or toking up some of that Zaza, or just needing a calm place to just like feel grounded and stuff. And I wanted to like take you guys on kind of like a tour of this entire place, because it's just really beautiful. As you can tell, there's lots of foliage, trees, and if I'm walking correctly, the path is pretty stable too. Oh my gosh, look at this valley. Look at that. So beautiful. So it's pretty early morning right now. It's about like I can't even remember. I should have checked the time before I started recording this. It's about 8:15 in the morning. I woke up very early, about 5 in the morning, because of how cold it was. For those of you guys who don't know, I have converted a 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan into a camper van. Oh, sorry, a little out of breath. I've been using that to live out of. I do have an apartment, but that's all the way back in Washington, D.C., a whole continent away. I didn't know how long I wanted to be here on the West Coast for the holidays. I'm originally from Oregon, so all my friends and family are here. So I wanted to be able to stay here for like a decent amount of time, considering how long it took me to just drive here. But also, like, hotels are mad expensive, and my my mom is helping me out financially until I can find a job, which has not been easy. I don't know if you guys are in a similar position. The job market has just been really shit. I have a bachelor's in media and communications, and I have like an infinity for government. I've had a few jobs since graduating college. I worked for a little bit as an educational assistant at a K through 8 school, and then I also have spent some time working for the Oregon State Legislature as a committee assistant. But I'm trying to like find a job that's going to be able to sustain my life and also make me want to show up, which every passing year it seems less and less of an attainable option to do, which at least in America, but I see it happening all over, in predominantly Western countries. So it's a bit tricky out here. Oh, let me adjust the camera. It's pretty tricky out here. So yeah, I've been staying out of my car, and I keep on teasing you guys. I will show you, and it just hasn't been an opportune time for me to do that. I think it's mostly because of the weather. I want to be able to like show you guys enthusiastically without being too cold, or how it was like in the southern states, just being too hot. But maybe I kind of just need to quit complaining and realize there's probably not going to be an ideal weather scenario, at least anytime in the near future. But yeah, oh my gosh, we're approaching this tree. This tree, I have a lot of memories in it, and it's not just and the tree branches, but my friends, we were just hang out, make little forts. And when I say make little forts, you're probably thinking, y'all's like children? I'm like, no, we were high schoolers. Stand by it though. Not much you can do in a small town in Oregon. So we definitely spent our times living amongst the trees. Whew. I think I need to do more cardio because I feel like I'm a little bit too out of breath for this. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm going to flip the camera up because the view, I forgot how awesome it is. Guys, look how beautiful this entire valley is. You see the fog rolling through and the mountains just barely peeking up. It's crazy. I guess a huge benefit coming up here in the morning. Oh, wow, look how stunning that is. Immaculate. Like, guys, how is... I was so fortunate to be able to grow up in a place like this. I've been to nearly every state in the Union, and I've been to nearly 30 countries. And most of them have their own charms, in their own little ways, but time and time again, I find that nothing beats the Pacific Northwest in terms of nature, in terms of beauty. Like, just look at that. Like, how many of you guys can say that that's in your backyard? This this is literally a 20-minute drive from my cousin's house, and a 15-minute drive at most from my childhood house. But yeah, let me know if this type of video is something you guys like, because there are plenty more of stunning places like these in Oregon that I would love to share with you guys. Whew. It is getting a bit chilly. I do think it's like below freezing right now. I have my wool coat, but I'm wearing sweatpants. They're fine, but I got it at Target, so they're not like the most warm pants. Whew. Okay, let's show you guys another look. Oh shoot. There we go. What I also like so much about this recreational area is that it is connected to the Benton County Fairgrounds like trail system. So you're able to actually come up here without a car via bike, walking, even horse. Horses not this time of year because the paths are all muddy, and so the horses would just destroy that stuff. But yeah. Woo. Wait, is this a thumbnail? I think so. Oy, okay. Guys, I actually don't know how much I'll be able to stay out here because it's so cold. Oh my gosh, I see someone. I don't know, can you? Let's see. Do you see that person over there? They're doing crunches. Good for them. So cold, so cold. I think once I get to the top of the peak, I'll show you guys another pano view, and then begin our way back to the car, because your boy's cold. It's too cold for comfort right now. But yeah, this actually being up here reminds me of one of the last times I was up here. I came up here with my church group, and what we did is we helped clear invasive species that were growing up here, and we also got to plant some tree saplings, which was super fun. Learning about the local ecosystems and the environment has always been at the forefront of my education here. Oregon doesn't do so well compared to other states when it comes to education. It kind of finds itself kind of dead in the middle. Oh, that's a bright sun. That's a bright sun. Kind of finds itself dead in the middle. But in its efficiencies, it makes up for educating a whole generation of the importance of sustainable practices and taking care of the earth, and being a good steward of the environment. So, and a lot of people are really good here. But there's a lot of nice people here, and so I always have this conundrum in my head, actually, about levels of education and how like liberal educated elites kind of view it, because obviously you should know 2 + 2 = 4. You should know that gravity exists and why and what it does, and you should know the history of your country, and you should be literate in media and all that stuff. So I'm not like saying that's not valuable, but I definitely think that our current systems undervalue the emotional intelligence, the creative arts. I think there's a lot to be said of the treasure trove of knowledge in those in those fields, but also how people are very complex beings, and there's more to you than trying to be the best STEM student or speaking in a way that is proper all the time. I think that's a little bit boring. When I was a kid, this is not unique to me, but when I was a kid, every time I just said the wrong word or the wrong pronunciation, I don't know, of a word, even if my entire sentence was like correct, I would just be told like in such a condescending way that I was wrong, and then I would fix it. And then I noticed that I started doing that to my friends and people I interact with, and I'm like, I didn't like that side of myself. And I think there are better ways of helping people out, but also, I don't know, I don't think you need to always have perfect grammar to be able to communicate your ideas in a meaningful, respectful way. I mean, obviously if you're doing academic works, or if you're sending stuff to colleagues via writing, then yes. But when it's just freehand talking, I think it's a little overblown. See, there I go. A little overblown. Look at this. This is so pretty. I came out here because, well, one of the reasons why I also took advantage of coming out here is because there's like no one here, but right now there's 2 joggers, so I'm gonna be acting really cool, and like this is normal to do. So yeah. Good morning. I always feel so embarrassed doing this out in public, but it's definitely something I've had to like get over because I'm not gonna let that slight social embarrassment keep me from creating content. I changed the angle because I feel like it was kind of blinding you guys, so okay, so obviously we're headed down, back to the car. I think what will be nice is just to like go to a nice cafe, edit this video, sip on some coffee. It's nice. The problem lately actually is because of how cold the weather's been and just because of how cold the weather's been, and like all the cafes in town are always packed like they're filled to the brim, and so it's so difficult to try finding a table that you can work at. Oh my gosh. Damn. This do be God's country. Fitton Green, to my knowledge, is part of the Benton County like Parks and Recreation. And what's amazing about this section, what's amazing about Corvallis is that we have a green belt. And for those of you guys who don't know what a green belt is, it's essentially that the city through nonprofits has created a zoning around the city where new development can't take place, and it has to be designated as a natural reserve area. Of course, this is not just the city is like it's not just because the city is just so naturally progressive that this happened. Like, it took a lot of conservative effort from individuals donating their land to the Greenbelt Land Trust, which is an organization that buys up natural areas to make them into public parks and stuff. Like, it took generations of activists and city planning to do all of this. Also, like, Governor Tom McCall, shout out, like, he's the reason why, in my opinion, Oregon is the way it is. It's very liberal. No, it's even more than that. I would say it's very progressive, at least in the valley. There's this whole dispute, I would say. I don't know. Oregon also has a history of separatist movements. I even did a podcast documentary for that when I was in college. But essentially, the most recent expression of that is happening in Eastern Oregon, where there's like this Greater Idaho movement, which is ridiculous. They're just upset that the majority of voters in the state do not vote the way that they want to vote. And I'm like, yeah, that's tough. Isn't that tough? That sucks, doesn't it? Deal with it, you know. But no, I want to be more compassionate about issues that they have, but it doesn't really, from the interviews I've seen with them, it just doesn't really seem like there's anything like really that's bumming them out. And like, clearly Oregon is not that bad of a place if they just want to change the borders. So that's the whole concept of Greater Idaho movement. It's just for the Idahoan state government to seas to the Idaho state, for the state of Idaho to assume a lot of eastern Oregon, a lot of land. They really just want all of Oregon except the valley to be part of Idaho. And I'm like, that is so not feasible. And also, like, you guys financially wouldn't be able to afford to maintain all of that land you take. And also, it would have to be, for anything like that to happen, is you would not only need the Oregon state government and the Idaho state government to agree, but you also need Congress to agree. And we know that Congress doesn't do shit. They're not gonna do it. I mean, maybe the Republicans would try, because it would mean that they would have more electoral college votes. But Oregon doesn't have that many to begin with, about 8, I think. So, yeah. All right, we're nearing the end. We just came down from the hill. I can kind of see my car from around the bend. That's a lie. I can't really see my car from around the bend, but yeah. Ooh, look how pretty. Ooh. I like the selfie stick. I don't know, can you see it? Oh, no, I have it perfectly angled so you can't see it. Gosh, my hands are getting so cold, so cold. But yeah, come out to Fitton Green Natural Area if you want to see some scenic views. Whew. Oh, I smell some wood burning, and it's not a forest fire. I love campfire so much. I really wish I had a house so I could have a fire pit. That's the only reason why I would want a house, is just to have a fire pit so I could burn stuff. Maybe it's the Antifa in me, maybe. Just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding about being anti-fascist, but I'm not Antifa. Right? I'm more practical than what the right is at least identifying them as. Wow, look up here. Woo. So pretty. Or I know Oregon is not really the biggest state, at least in terms of population, but I'm curious if any of you guys have been to Oregon, or if you've even heard about Oregon, and if there are any places that you would recommend me to go. Because, like, I've been to most places in the valley and up the north coast, but I haven't really spent that much time in, like, eastern Oregon, more specifically, like, southeast Oregon or central Oregon. I've been to Bend, but I have not, like, experienced Bend. You feel me? But yeah, if you guys like this type of video, I'll do more of it. And if you guys like this type of video, but you're like, Ricky, you're kind of talking too much, or tone it down on the Oregon info, you know? Then I'll be, like, receptive for that. I'm like, okay. If it's just the nature you want to see, then it's the nature you want to see. I won't give that much commentary. I won't give that much commentary then. It's gotten to the point where I am warm enough underneath my jacket, but cold enough that my jacket is still necessary. I thought there were more people coming in. All right, so I think this is where the trail ends. I see my car over yonder there in the distance. So yeah, guys, I'm Ricky Carson. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and push the bell notification so you're notified of future videos. Remember, I post new videos every single day. Trying to grow up this YouTube channel. You hear me? So a thumbs up, a subscribe would really mean the world to me. I want to do, I don't know, I'm really wanting to take this YouTube seriously, and I want to share you guys my world, my life, and just the places I find myself in, because even though I live a very precarious life, moving from place to place, and I have a very unique background, to say the least. So I think it's about time that, I share all of that with you guys incrementally at a time. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions of like questions you have, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a really good day. I hope you treat everyone you see with love and kindness, and have a good one. All right, peace.